Hello, Nerd Boxers, and welcome to another episode of the Popcorn Confessional News. And on this episode, we are talking about
Saw 10 will be the longest film in the franchise.
New images of Godzilla from the upcoming Godzilla -1 film.
Trailer roundup for Saw 10 and Exorcist Believer.
Scream 7 and Radio Silence's exit from the film. Hello everybody, this is Dave.
And Jen.
And we're here bringing you some of the latest horror news that's dropped. There's not a lot out there with the strike that's going on, so we're going to dive into a couple of things, especially Scream 7 related. And we want to know your thoughts around what we're going to talk about. But before we do that, there's a couple things that you need to do. Since you like Scream 7, since you like Saw 10 or Saw X, since you like what we're talking about, don't forget that you need to
like, comment, share, and subscribe.
Yes, gonna ask your opinion on a couple of things as we go through this, so be sure to drop that in the comments.
Saw 10 is just around the corner, and director Kevin Grudert has recently gone on record saying that it will be the longest film in the franchise. There's so much more to this film than even the amazing amount that was there. I can say it's the most epic. And this might sound scary, but I think it's the longest Saw movie. We don't waste. When we're editing a Saw movie, we do not waste time. So the fact that it's long, I think, is a testament to just how well done it is. Currently, the longest runtime in the Saw franchise was the third, coming in at 1 hour and 48 minutes.
So are you excited that this is possibly the longest film in the franchise? I know clocking at 2 hours, maybe a little over 2 hours. What did Terrifier 2 do? It changed the way movies are going to be running for certain horror films, it looks like. Are you excited about it?
So I'm hoping that they can keep the pace going for the entire movie. I mean, Saw has always usually been pretty good about that, keeping the pace the entire movie, including the longest so far at 1 hour and 48 minutes. So I think that they'll be able to. I'm actually excited for Saw 10.
Yeah, we'll talk about that more in a minute.
So, yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I just hope that it's better than Spiral.
I hope so.
Yeah.
But we get Tobin Bell back, so...
Yeah. How about it, right? James Wan and Lee Wanell, two crucial mistakes and two big franchises killing off their main character in the first set of films.
And then have to bring them back from the dead.
Yes.
Or just keep them dead and still bring them back.
Yeah, what do you think? Are you ready to move on to maybe one of the other disciples that may still be alive? Because, there is Dr. Logan Nelson that is out there, and there is Dr. Lawrence Gordon. So would you like to see films pick up about them? I know I would want to see Dr. Gordon. I was pretty excited to see his character return, and I wanted to see what he could do as maybe the new leader of the Jigsaw cult.
I'd be okay with Dr. Gordon, but I mean, John Kramer holds a special place in my heart. I really like him, and I feel for him. Mm-hmm. Even though he's doing these, quote unquote bad things, I mean, the people he's doing it to kind of had it coming, right? So, and I feel terrible for him because he was a good guy doing good things and he got screwed. Mm-hmm. So
now in the description of this video, you'll see our Facebook page. I am going to be dropping a poll. It'll only last for a couple days there, and I can't put all of the names up on YouTube. So go over there and vote on who is your most favorite disciple of Jigsaw. Yesterday, the Kaiju news outlet tweeted out 2 Godzilla -1 promo shots of Godzilla, giving us the front and back view of him. Releasing on December 1st in the US, Godzilla -1 is the latest film from Toho, following up Shin Godzilla, which released in 2016 and grossed $78 million worldwide on a $15 million budget. This is Toho's 33rd Godzilla film over a 70-year span. That's right, this year is Godzilla's 70th anniversary. And the story centers around Godzilla's emergence in post-war Japan during the late 1940s. I'm excited for this. I'm just hoping that they don't repeat some of the mistakes that they made with Shin Godzilla, and that is that very long, drawn-out middle of the movie where it's just a lot of talking. I don't know about you, but I go to see a Godzilla movie to see Godzilla kicking ass. I don't need to see a meeting for 20 minutes. It puts me to sleep because it's so damn boring, especially with subtitles.
It doesn't really take much to put you to sleep, so.
Are you excited to see this? It's coming out before we get the American sequel. The Kong vs. Godzilla, it was okay. I haven't had the urge to go back and watch it just because, again, the human element just kind of sucks in that movie. Especially when you have Millie Bobby Brown and her sidekicks traveling around like it's nothing throughout that entire movie.
Yeah, she should stick with Stranger Things.
Mm-hmm. Now, this will drop in Japan in November, so there is probably some spoilers that are going to come out before we get it here in the US, but I'm excited, so let us know if you're excited to see this as well.
2 trailers recently dropped, as we all may know. The first being for the upcoming Saw 10 or Saw X, which reveals not only the return of John Kramer, but also Amanda. Saw 10 takes place between Saw 1 and 2, where we see John Kramer travel to Mexico in an attempt to cure his cancer by undergoing a risky and experimental medical procedure, only to discover the entire operation is a scam.
After watching this trailer, I don't know if I was more excited to see John Kramer or Amanda Young back.
So I'm excited for both. Because like I said, I love John Kramer, and I also really liked Amanda. I thought she was good, really excellent as his sidekick and his disciple. And I'm really excited about the premise of this movie.
Mm-hmm.
I like the whole getting scammed thing, right? Because that is really prevalent in the world right now.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many scammers out there, and it sucks. And people really do get scammed in this way.
Yes.
So I think it would be really cool to have an actual John Kramer that would get revenge on these assholes.
John Kramer's like Dexter.
Exactly.
You're screwing over John Kramer. That's it. You're done. You're done.
Yeah.
And then to have pissed off Amanda on top of that, because Amanda is probably the most aggressive of all the disciples.
Mm-hmm.
And anybody that screws with John is probably more in trouble with her than John himself.
Yeah, I did hear that one little line in the trailer where, the person was like, do they know who they're messing with? Like, of all people, it's John Kramer. And I was like, oh yeah, you're fucked.
Are you excited for this? Are you going to see it, or you've had enough of the Saw films? Now, supposedly, this is the last one. But if it makes money, we're going to find John popping up somewhere again. So
yeah, they'll squeeze it in between 2 other ones or something.
Yeah. Saw X Part 2.
Yeah. Saw X.2. There we go.
Now, after Halloween kills and ends, Saw may have jumped over the Halloween franchise in my franchise list. So let us know, where does the Saw franchise rank for you against the other franchises? Scream, Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th? Is it a top 5 for you, a top 10, or is it a nah? Exorcist Believer also dropped, and we see in the latest installment it revolves around 2 girls who go missing for 3 days. When they return home, a series of strange things begin to occur, reminding a priest of an event that had occurred in the past. With hope fading, Father Victor Fielding turns to Chris McNeil, the only person alive who witnessed anything like this before. We watched these trailers back to back, and we watched just 1 second, and believe me when I tell you that Saw X had no impact on my thoughts on the Exorcist trailer. Now, I love the Exorcist. I actually have 2 stones, one from the steps and one from the house, in the case, which you'll see in an upcoming tour on Crips. But, this felt like it was a kind of a cheap ripoff of The Evil Dead, with the way the possessed girls were talking, seeing their eyes and stuff like that. I wasn't creeped out. There was nothing saying, hey, come see this at the theater. It almost felt like it was a streaming movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't really have anything to say. I've seen the trailer twice and haven't changed my mind.
Yeah. Seeing it a second time in the theater is like, oh, they're going to screw this one up too.
Yeah.
You had so much potential coming out of Halloween 2018, and now with the follow-up to that film and doing a 3-part Exorcist film, even before you know if the first one's going to do any good in the theaters, and having pissed off audiences already. What happens if it bombs? That's all I'm going to say. Anyway, jury out. Is this a win, or does this look like it's going to be a waste of time in the theater?
It looks like it's going to be a waste of time.
I think so too, but let us know. Are you excited for it? Maybe you're a bigger Exorcist fan than we are. Hey, and that's fine.
I'm not a fan at all, so maybe that's part of it. But I would sit and watch the original, which I have more than once with the family. But this movie, there's nothing about it that makes me want to see it.
After part 3, they just can't come out with anything that comes close to those films.
No. While not yet greenlit at Paramount, Scream 7 is said to be happening, and as leaked by YouTuber Critical Overload a few days ago, it appears to be without Radio Silence's Matt Bettinelli-Olpin and Tyler Gillette directing, due to them working on an upcoming Universal Studios monster movie. The rumored once title of the film was Dracula's Daughter, making it a remake of the 1936 film. This film is slated for release in April of 2024. Stepping into the director's chair will be Christopher Landon, who some may know from the Happy Death Day films, Freaky, and Scout's Guide to the Zombie Apocalypse.
Hearing that the directors weren't coming back, I had some mixed feelings. It's like, oh boy, I don't know if somebody else can come in here and do as good of a job that they have done.
I felt like that when you told me, but you also didn't tell me who was stepping in.
I know. It's news to you as well.
Yes.
So Christopher Landon he's pretty damn good. So
I liked the Happy Death Day films, the first one more than the second, but I did like them both. Mm-hmm. I loved Freaky, and I loved Scout's Guide to the Zombie Apocalypse.
Yes.
We watch that every year.
Yeah, all good movies.
Yes.
And you know what? Now I'm kind of a little bit excited for Scream 7 because Scream 6, we know we got a lot of retelling of Scream 2 and Scream 3 thrown in there, and so many Easter eggs because that's what the Radio Silence guys do. Mm-hmm. They did it in Ready or Not as well.
Yeah.
They throw in all these Easter eggs for the fans to go and look for. Mm-hmm. And while it's fun, for a YouTuber has to do a video on it, it's 20 hours of video, at least, because there's so much stuff that's out there. So I'm looking to get away from having all the Easter eggs and the eye candy out there to have more focus on the story.
And for the editor's wife, it means going to the movies like a dozen times to see a movie.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Now, Scream 7, I'm hoping that we're going to get to conclusion to Stu Macher's story. What's that you said? Watch this.
Did you ever wonder who killed Rebecca? Was it Charlie? Or was it Jill? Maybe, just maybe it was someone else. Since Jill was inside getting stitched up, and Charlie was outside filming. So who could it be? Who could the third ghost face be at the hospital? After all, it's not like we've seen a third killer at the hospital any other time. Oh wait. Check out all of the Stu's Clues videos, as I break down each film and reveal how Stu has been there for everyone. And remember to stab that like button, comment, share, and subscribe to NERDbox.
And like I said, the last one was okay. Yeah. It was middle of the road. I like that they did some cool new things in the beginning, but then the whole killer reveal, I think that's what really kind of hurts the film. So hopefully we keep going down the direction we start, keep adding new elements into it. But we gotta explore that cult. We gotta wrap up all these Stu's Clues into a conclusion.
Yeah.
Look, I don't care if he's dead, but just make it clear. Stop toying with people. Yeah. Just say, hey, look, this is what happened.
Yeah, exactly. Stop messing with people. I mean, you're 1 minute you're putting this out here like, oh no, he survived, and then the next, nope, he's definitely dead. But the thing is, they never said he was definitely dead, except like one time. Mm-hmm. Everything else points to him being alive. So just end it.
Yeah, and then it's like the Impractical Jokers, because the directors say, well, he's dead, and then there's a producer's like, well,
yeah,
I don't know if he's definitely dead. So
exactly,
all the clues point to that. You've seen the trailer that I just played, so go check out those videos if you're not convinced. But are you excited for Scream 7 and these changes? We are, so let us know your thoughts. Anyway, until the next breaking horror news cycle that comes out, we try to do it when there's more than 3 topics out there, so we're not just focusing on 1 or 2 things. And let us know if you like these. So until the next, see ya.